He thought one small lie would fade in a week, but one single review destroyed everything he built in 20 years. Stay until the end, because one sentence online changed his life forever. Jake owned a small auto repair shop in the heat of Phoenix. The sun bleached the letters on his old sign, and the smell of oil clung to every inch of the air. He worked fast, he talked fast, and he believed speed meant success. That afternoon, a woman pulled in driving a red sedan. She wore hospital scrubs and looked exhausted. "My car shakes on the freeway," she said softly. "I need it fixed before my night shift." Jake barely looked under the hood. "Alignment problem," he said. $200. I'll have it done fast." She hesitated, then nodded and handed him the keys. 2 hours later, she drove off. The same noise rattled before she even reached the corner. The next morning, Jake opened the shop and saw a 1-star review on Google. It said, "He charged me for something he never fixed. I felt scammed and stupid for trusting him." He muttered, "People complain about everything," and shrugged. But within days, the phone stopped ringing. Then 2 more reviews appeared, both calling him dishonest. His landlord came by with an envelope. "Jake," he said, "rent's late again." Jake nodded silently, grease on his hands and fear in his chest. That night he sat in the dark shop. The glow from the screen reflected the words untrustworthy and careless. He slammed his fist on the counter and whispered, "No one sees how hard I work." Then his eyes caught an old photograph taped to the wall. His father stood in front of the same shop years ago, with a handwritten line at the bottom. "Your name is your warranty." The next afternoon, the bell over the door rang. Jake looked up and froze. The same woman in scrubs stood there. "You probably don't remember me," she said. He swallowed. "Yeah, I do. You wrote that review." She nodded slowly. "I came because you called me a liar. You didn't just take my money, you took my trust." Jake lowered his head. "You were right," he said quietly. "I didn't even check your car. I was tired and lazy." She looked at him for a long moment. "Then fix it," she said. "Not the car. Fix your word." He took her keys again. This time he raised her car on the lift and listened carefully. The shop was quiet except for the hum of tools and the sound of his own breathing. After an hour, he found the truth. A cracked motor mount that alignment would never fix. He worked late into the night, sweat dripping down his face, oil staining his hands. When he finished, he test drove the car down the empty freeway. The wheel stayed steady, silent, perfect. That night he called her. "Your car's ready," he said softly. "No charge." There was a pause on the line, then her voice came small and full of relief. "Thank you," she said. "I really needed this car to get to work." Jake smiled for the first time in weeks. The tired kind of smile that feels like forgiveness. The next morning he cleaned the shop top to bottom. He painted the front sign bright white again and wrote on a new board, "Fix it right or fix it free." He replied to every old review one by one, apologizing and offering to make things right. For a while no one responded, but slowly something began to change. A man left a comment. "He messed up once, but he owned it. That's rare these days." Months passed and Jake rebuilt his reputation one honest job at a time. The 1-star average climbed to 3, then 4. One afternoon the nurse returned for an oil change. "You seem different," she said with a smile. Jake laughed softly. "You fixed me more than I fixed your car." She smiled back. "You kept your word." He nodded. "Trying to. Every single day." She left a new review that read, "He turned one mistake into a lesson. I trust him now." That review hit the top of the search results. Jake's shop came back to life. Customers started to say, "He's the honest one." Now he keeps his father's photo above the counter where everyone can see it. Sometimes customers ask about the quote beneath it, and Jake always smiles and says, "That's the reason I'm still here." Your name is your warranty. Don't cheat the people who trust you. You might win today, but you'll lose tomorrow. Because in this world, reviews last forever. If this story reminded you that integrity is worth more than profit, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to this channel so we can keep telling real stories that prove character never goes out of style.